So you just lost a lawsuit, you owe someone $100,000, and you're sitting there thinking, wait, do I actually have to pay this? It turns out the answer is a lot messier than your high school civics class ever told you. Here's the thing about a court judgment. It's basically an official piece of paper that says, you owe this, but it doesn't come with a magic button that transfers money out of your account. The plaintiff, that's the person who won, now has to go collect, and that part is basically a whole second job. Some defendants do try to dodge paying, and honestly, the methods range from sad to genuinely creative. We've seen people hide money in a relative's bank account, transfer their house to a spouse, or suddenly discover they have no assets, like a financial magician who only performs after losing a personal injury case. But here's where it gets interesting. Courts absolutely hate that game, and they built something called fraudulent transfer laws to shut it down. If you moved your assets around right before or after a lawsuit, a judge can reverse those transfers faster than you can say technically it's my cousin's boat. Now, some people genuinely don't have the money to pay, and that's a completely different situation than someone hiding it. A judgment doesn't squeeze blood from a stone. If someone is truly broke, collecting that judgment might take years or just never fully happen. Each state has something called exemption laws, which protect certain assets from being taken to pay a judgment. In some states, your primary home, your car up to a certain value, and your basic retirement savings are off limits, so even a winner in court can't touch everything. One of the wildest tools a winning plaintiff has is called a wage garnishment, where the court orders your employer to send part of your paycheck directly to the person you owe. Federal law caps that at about 25% of your disposable income, which is a lot when you think about it, but also means a defendant can stretch repayment out for a long time. Bankruptcy is the nuclear option that some defendants reach for, and it can actually wipe out certain judgments, but not all of them. If the injury involved something like drunk driving or intentional harm, a bankruptcy court is probably not going to let you off the hook because, well, you kind of did that on purpose. Accident injury lawyers, on both sides of the table, know all of these tricks and count moves better than most people know their own Netflix password. A good plaintiff's attorney isn't just winning your case, they're already thinking about how to actually get you paid, which is a whole strategic chess match happening in the background. There's also something called a judgment lien, where the winning party attaches their claim to any real estate the defendant owns. That means when the defendant tries to sell their house 5 years later, the judgment gets paid first out of the sale. It's like a financial ghost that haunts your property. The statute of limitations on collecting a judgment is another twist most people miss entirely. In many states, you have somewhere between 5 and 20 years to collect, and many judgments can be renewed, so that debt can follow a defendant around for a genuinely uncomfortable amount of time. Here's what actually happens most of the time in real life, though. Insurance pays. The reason personal injury cases are often worth pursuing is that the defendant's insurance company is the one cutting the check, not some random person emptying their couch cushions. That changes everything about how cases are valued and how quickly they settle. The defendants who think they've outsmarted the system by hiding assets often end up worse off because courts can add fees, interest, and sanctions on top of the original judgment. So what started as a $100,000 problem can quietly balloon into something much uglier while they're busy pretending to be broke. The whole system is genuinely designed to make avoidance difficult, not impossible, but difficult, because a judgment that nobody pays is just an expensive piece of paper. Lawyers who specialize in this field spend years learning exactly where the pressure points are, which is why who you hire matters so much on both sides. If this got your brain working, and you want to understand how injury law actually plays out in real cases, check out our links in the description to learn more about what our company can do for you.